Coach, another game where free throws seems to be a problem. How frustrating is that for you? And do you look at that as a big reason why Montana was able to keep it close today?
Yeah, really. The last two games, it's hard. We're working on it. I do think we're, more importantly, overall, we're a better free throw shooting team than we've shown. You guys know this by a couple of our games. We won the game against Eastern Washington because of our free throw shooting. So, but moving forward, we're not going to have the luxury of shooting 55% and winning. That's really one of several things that hurt us at Stanford. I mean, we were really poor from the free throw line, and that hurt us. So we're working on it. I look at Azulis, 1 for 6. It can become a confidence thing quickly from the line for young players. I was really excited to see James bounce back. I mean, you talk about confidence. He's 20 for 20 outside of the Stanford game in the last 3 games, 20 for 20. And he was 2 for 9 against Stanford. So he bounced back from the line. But that's what really good free throw shooters do. You may have a subpar performance, you put it behind you, but clearly we're going to have to do a good job. Like, a big part of it is when you shoot 34 free throws in a game, you did a lot of good things on offense, but we weren't able to take advantage of it because we didn't convert.
David Kelly, go ahead.
Hey, Sean, just Azulis tonight at the defensive end really did a nice job kind of defending the low post, took some charges, got his hands in some passing lanes, and just how'd you feel about the way he was able to defend down the stretch to really help you guys put this game away?
No, you're right, David. We talked to Azulis about that after the game. You start to see him come into his own on the defensive end. If you remember the Stanford game, one of the biggest plays down the stretch is Oscar Da Silva drove the ball hard with his right hand against Azulis, and Azulis had a great block, which gave us a chance to win. Down the stretch tonight, he did the same thing, but if you look at it, he had 3 steals and 2 blocks. So he's doing things. You have 3 steals, 2 blocks, 9 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. He made a 3. What he didn't do is make his free throws. If he would have, he would have had a great game. But you guys can see it. He's a very talented young player. And keep in mind, if we're over in Lithuania right now, there's a lot of things we're still getting used to. For example, the technical foul, him hanging on the rim, he had no idea that he got a technical foul, even after it was called. And, I almost feel bad as his coach because, like, one time at our end, he touched the basketball on the rim. And, in FIBA, you can touch the ball while it's on the rim, and you can hang on the rim. So that's something that he learned tonight, and that's why games are so important for this year's team, because we just have such inexperience. And you feel that there's some head-scratching plays that happen to our team. My hope is that we have less of those as we move on. A great example is, I think we drew 4 charges tonight, and that might be more than we've drawn all year. We learned from the Stanford game. I've addressed it. I've talked about it. We're working on it. But, those 4 charges are big plays in the game, in today's game. But it's the first time we've started to do that. And when you start to do that, you become a better defensive team.
What went into your decision to add Azulis to the starting lineup?
I think it gives us more of a scoring punch. It allows Jordan Brown to guard the 5-man, which, again, as we learn our team, I think Jordan is much more fluid, much more sure of himself. I think it helps his offense when he guards the other team's 5. Certain games, maybe we can slide him over, but Azulis can do a lot of different things, and we see his progress right now almost on a daily basis.
Bruce, go ahead.
Sean, along those lines, it sounds like this is something you could maybe stick with long term with those 2 guys in the post. I wondered if the matchups maybe tonight with the kind of inside-outside guys they had something to do with it too.
No, it was just based on watching our team, what's best for our team. We felt that group of 5 gave us the best chance to get off to a good start.
Okay. And with James, when he comes out, he has a tough night, comes out super aggressive. Is that just him, or do you talk to him? I mean, how did you go as far as like the last couple days with him?
Yeah, I mean, James is confident in himself, Bruce. 2 for 9 is more of an outlier from the free throw line. But he's very confident, sure of himself. Keep in mind, he hasn't played real games in a long time. And it's going to take him, like all of our players, getting used to it. His 16 shots, I thought he had some good looks that he missed and made, but he probably had a couple that maybe he could pivot and make a pass, right? Or maybe keep his dribble and dribble out and then play it safe. But he doesn't have a confidence issue, and I was excited to see him come out and play the way he did at the beginning, for sure.
Alec White, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how concerned are you about the slow starts in back-to-back games against Stanford then tonight offensively? It just looked like it took a little while for you guys to find your footing.
Well, Montana did a good job early in the game of scoring on us. And if you think about it, if we make our free throws were early in the game, like we couldn't make a free throw. So you look at the scoreboard, you have to keep in mind, we went there 4 times and missed all 4. I think we started off 0 for 4, 0 for 5. So that's part of our slow start. But if you look at the game, they were 12 for 23 from the field in the first half. They were 3 for 6 from the 3-point line in the first half. And they were 9 for 9 from the free throw line in the first half. In the second half, they were 8 for 23 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. And they got to the foul line 13 times. They ended up with 19 turnovers. Our defense was better in the second half. I felt like we wore them down a little bit. And that happens with man-to-man. It's like running game in football. Can't just judge the running in the first quarter or first half. Like sometimes as the game wears on, you can really break it open. And, our man-to-man defense got better as the game wore on. And I thought we defended them pretty well.
And then you guys got notified that you're going to have Kerr Kriisa later this season. Just your thoughts on being able to have him at some point.
Well, I'm excited for Kerr and his family. Again, back to my point, I'm around these guys every day. You guys are covering us from a distance, but you just have to imagine a young kid who makes a big decision in his life to come over here to the United States alone from Estonia to play college basketball, to attend our university. You have the COVID backdrop with it. And, he came here in the middle of August and, he found out right before Christmas that he's going to be okay. In his mind, it's not just whether he's going to play or not. You start to stress, am I going to be allowed to stay in the country? Am I going to be allowed to keep my scholarship? Am I going to be allowed to attend Arizona? When do I go back? How does that work? And it's really stressful, really. I mean, when I told him the news, he was just like relieved. It wasn't joy. It was just like, oh, thank God. He now knows his future. Like he didn't know anything every day for 6 months. So the fact that he knows he has a future, when he's going to play, that he can stay here. His mom was very relieved. He's relieved. And we're obviously really excited for him, but I was actually heartbroken when I saw his reaction, just because you forget every night he goes to bed, he's wondering like, am I okay or am I not okay? He doesn't live in California. So I'm happy that he has a chance to play, and we've supported him all the way, and he's a big part of our future. He's a very good player, but he could be a great player down the road as he gets stronger.
No. Yeah, Sean, given that there's only a few games played, 6, 7 games, do you think you're going to have to be more patient given that it's a young team, fewer games, and basically take more time with these guys?
Yes. We're going to have some tough moments, Steve. There's no getting around it. I do think our best basketball is in front of us. We have a number of players that, if I'll use Oscar da Silva as an example. He looked like a young freshman that had a chance to maybe be a good player at Stanford as a freshman. He was better as a sophomore. He was an all-conference player last year, and he's an NBA player right now. But, his progression is 4 years. So we have a number of players on our team that their best days are ahead of them, but they're not this year. They'll improve this year as it goes along, but and you see it, right? Mistakes that are made. It's like head-scratching plays. The game maybe could be 75-62 instead of 70-64. Just being a little bit smarter. But yeah, we're coaching and we're trying to teach them, and they're doing a great job of receiving that.
And Jordan had a very good game, probably the best game since his first game. How do you see his progression? Will it continue to kind of maybe go up and down a time or two?
Yeah, I mean, he was 5 for 5 from the floor, 5 for 9 from the line, got there 9 times, 6 rebounds, 15 points. I mean, he played a very good game. He just has to get smarter in certain areas of the game. The offensive fouls, at some points, a little bit like our team drawing the charge tonight. You didn't see that in the first 5 or 6 games. We adjusted. We became a better team because guys made those plays. Sometimes in and around the basket, it's not hard turn. It's having a little bit of a feel. The guy's going to try to flop or take a charge on me. So I'm just going to turn softly and shoot a jump hook. But game experience helps that. But we need him to get a little bit smarter in certain areas. And if he does, I think his game can really take off.
Bruce Pascoe, go ahead.
Yeah, Sean, following up on Kerr, now that it's over, I mean, can you shed any light on what the actual issue was? I mean, was it that contract he had with Zaldris, the club there, or why and why did it take so long? Was there an appeal process, or what happened?
I mean, Bruce, I'm not able to answer that. I mean, we're excited that he's playing, and he's excited, and finally we're looking forward to his future here. And the one thing that Kerr's done a good job of is he stayed with us. He left us briefly for the national team experience, but he practices with us every day, and he's going to be able to travel. So all that's really good. I mean, there's nothing bad about him moving forward. It's all good, and we're happy for him. Academically, he's a great student. He's done a really good job this summer in the first semester. So he has a bright future, and really happy he's a part of our program.
Did you feel, at least in general, that it was looking like he wasn't going to play at all this season? I mean, is February 6th a victory? And how did they come to February 6th anyway? What is that? It seems like about 70% or something, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And does that date stick even if you have some games canceled and you haven't played X amount of games? Does he get to play then no matter what? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, no, we would play him. Yeah, sure.
Okay. And if I could ask one more, I was just curious. The guys were indicating it seems like with the short break and the protocols with COVID that nobody's going to be going home, or at least going out of state. Or what is the plan with the guys, and how many days out of practice will they have at least?
Well, by NCAA rules, we have to give them 3 days, Bruce. So, tomorrow's the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th. They're going to have a break from, you got to realize that these guys, they get tested every morning at 7:30. I mean, just not have to get up early, I think, is a victory for them at this point. But, I wish every one of them could go home for Christmas. I think we all kind of need a break, but certainly they do. But, the way college basketball is right now, a lot of us are playing important conference games right at the beginning of the new year and at the end of December. And we're no different. We play Colorado, obviously, on the 28th. So pretty quick turnaround. Hopefully the break refreshes them. And then we have a chance to practice a couple days and get ready for, I guess, 19 Pac-12 games. I mean, we've never played 20. So it's going to be quite a challenge.
Well, actually, I mean, does this give you a chance to do anything different? Like, will the team actually have Christmas together maybe, or something like that, or a dinner or anything? Or is it just you want them to go away and just relax, or what?
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously gonna really look after them as best we can. But I mean, in Pima County, unless you have different rules, Bruce, there's only so much any of us can do right now, right? I mean, small gatherings and trying to follow the COVID protocols. we encourage our players to do that. So, you know, I mean, when we were on our last road trip, we had no meetings. You know, we had boxed lunches and everybody ate pregame meal in their own room. And we had two buses. We had the, you know, the N, is it N or M95 mask on at all times on the bus, the plane. So, I mean, we're really just trying to protect our players and follow, you know, Dr. Paul in those orders. You know, we're lucky Justin Kokoski and everybody here at Arizona has put us in a good position. So that's why this break is hard, you know, but I'm preaching to the choir. You guys have the same rules we do.